Hola, welcome back to Learning Language, Cognados Falsos, Cuatro. More Spanish idioms or false cognates. Again, word forms, sounds, or letters that look and sound the same. Again, if they don't sound the same, I don't consider them a cognate, cognados at all. But again, 5 more today. And really what I'm trying to do is, again, just give you just more historical translational accuracy. Again, when these meanings got solidified. Right, the reason people call these false cognates is because they do look or sound similar to English words, but they're just used in different contexts, and the context is what solidifies their usage. So again, remember when you look up in the dictionary, if you need more context or which words is more applicable, just look for the little things in the parentheses, and that's typically any given word will be used more frequently with that other given word in that context. And there are some examples today, so I'll talk about them. First one, again we're now on the F's, fabrica versus fabric. Again, remember all of these I've translated myself and through the dictionary. Well, again, mostly to the dictionary, but if I have anything else to say or add on, I do. Fabrica, on the Spark Notes they have factory, and fabric they have tela, tejido. So fabrica, factory, plant. And then also, just more nuance, right? When I say you can't not speak theorems, there are no closed systems. Whenever you look up a definition and there's a colon at the end, just like I write on the board, that's a theorem. That's consolidation of logic over again. We're not talking about me telling about a living Spanish teacher. I'm assessing the overall structure of the language. So, just how to read the dictionary, but then they have colon, or not colon, they have semicolon, mill. Tela, they have cloth, fabric, and again, this is the context, it said paño, paño for tela. And then also had canvas, web, money, plus 3 other definitions. Tejido had textile, fabric, semicolon, tissue, wearing, knitting, each with semicolons. Factory, they have fabrica. Fabric in English, tela, tejido, semicolon, paño. Estructura, and suavizante. Just right off the bat, again, I agree that it's a cognate. It looks similar, sounds similar. Fabric is made at factories, and again, this is assessment of English. But textile, if you look up textile, tejido and tela to cloth. What's the difference between English? What's the difference between textile and cloth? Textile is an adjective. I know what cloth is definitively. Textile, again, like an adjective, but you said, show me the set of all textiles, I'd be like, I don't know what to say. So to me, textile is more general. Cloth, and so there's a lot of these different words have different definitions and contexts. So I didn't have much to say. I said, what's the difference? But I just say textile, and then looking up textile back to Spanish, it said tetil. Again, the X, no longer cognate there. Literally textile without the E, but the pronunciation is different. So I think that the where this gets confusing or undefined or a lot of context is the English word textile. This fabric is very clear to me. Fabric is cloth. Textile is more of an adjective and it's more general. Next one, football versus football. Very common for English. Right, obviously clear, there's not a lot to say here. Just kidding. But football, soccer, again, just historically, everyone's played sports throughout history. So, what's older, industry or sports? Sports. So how old? I would say the differentiation of this is even older than fabrica and fabric. But just a thought. Football directly goes to soccer. Football americano. Then I ask the question, okay, how would I just say football? Pie bala. Well, and then here's where it gets interesting. Ball. If you just look up ball. English to Spanish, it says pelota, but it says pelota for tennis, baseball, and golf. It says ballon for basketball, football, and soccer. And ballon strikes me more as like balloon, a cognate to balloon. A basketball, football, and soccer ball are more inflated than a tennis. Well, tennis ball is inflated, but baseball and golf balls are more hard. So, and then they also have for ball, in the context of string or thread, they have obio, O-V-I-L-L-O, obio, obio, excuse me. That to me doesn't really strike me like a ball of thread. That'd be like for like knitting or something, not really soccer or football. But then cannon, bala, and I would say bala is the closest sound cognate to ball. So the closest cognate. But is a why is ball different for different sports? I think it's actually because of the density. I think that's what they're differentiating in Spanish. What if you say football and, well, then I look up soccer, it says football, then it also says ballon pied. I agree, pied, foot, clearly, but now, unless I didn't write it down and I checked this twice, it said ballon, B-A-L-O-N, and then it says ballon pied. It says ballon from ball to ballon, and then it says soccer, ballon pied. So that was interesting. And again, I would rather, to me that's more of balloon foot than football. I mean, I would say pied bala would be the most sound cognate, but clearly in the Spanish language, contextually it's more close to a cannonball. So that's kind of what's going on. There's actually, rather, the reason I said there's not a lot of interesting things to say as a joke was because the word ball, to me, very simple, foundational English word, not really clear to me in Spanish. And then I said ballon versus ballon pied, or ace typo. No, it was not a typo, I looked it up again. Make sure I'm still rolling, 3 more. Next we have futile versus futile. I agree, it's sound cognate, letter cognate. Directly in the dictionary, right, first on the SparkNote chart it says futile is trivial, and futile is bono or inutile. So futile, dictionary in my agreement, is to futile and to trivial. So again, we have people calling things that are not cognates that the first definition in the dictionary is the direct cognate. So again, words have meaning. You don't get to make up the context because you don't want to sound illiterate or stupid or like you don't have a lot of words. But it's literally people sitting down with education, bilingual certainly, probably native people, and then it doesn't sound as clear to them because they know English. And then they teach people wrong words, and then the students can't learn the words because it's wrong. Good job, world. Good job, Gabrielas y Jorges de Mundos of the world. De el mundo. Futile, again, futile went to futile and to trivial. Bono went to vain, directly to vain, and it had the phrase en bono, in vain. Clearly Bono's sound cognate, letter cognate to vain. Inutile had a useless, pointless, in the context of eis fuerzo, don't know what that is. Futile, in the context of a person, persona, worthless. Trivial has to trivial, or I guess it would be trivial to trivial. So again, not the B would throw off the cognate. Balladi, futile, and then balladi, I looked that up to Spanish to English, and that went back to trivial. And then futile to inutile. But the thing that I have here is inutile feels more emotionally charged, futile feels more general. Like if I said futile in English, that'd be more just an adjective of like something unlikely, something unprobabilistic. Most likely not going to happen, don't waste your energy. Not like, I want to be like insulting you. If I said, alright, inutile, useless, pointless, or worthless, it also had good for nothing. As an English phrase, good for nothing would be bueno para nada. Buena para nada. But inutiles again strikes me as an insult, right? That's a different one. Oh, but what did they have? Bono, inutile, again, in vain. Doing something in vain is useless. Doing something in vain it does not do work, is pointless. But inutile and bono strike me more as, again, directly to a person, or futile is just general descriptive of something that's unlikely. Next one, we have gracioso versus gracious. Gracioso, first thing I look up in the dictionary, I get another context, chistoso, and it's amusing, and then funny. On here they have gracioso is funny, and gracious is cortés. But it had gracioso in the context of chistoso, amusing, funny, semicolon, and then gentil, gracious, Gentiles. Alright, that's letter cognate to Gentiles, gentle, peaceful. Cortés, it had courteous and polite. So cortés is clearly letter and sound cognate more close to courteous and polite. Courteous and polite is distinctly semantically different than funny in English. Gracious, in the context of kind, it had gentil and cortés. Funny, English to Spanish, in the context of amusing, cómico, comical. Chistoso, didn't look that one up. Gracioso. So gracioso was like the third definition. In the context, just another one I included, strange, raro, rare. Rare, strange. My notes I had, gracious, in English can be used almost like smooth, right? He was smooth, he was very gracious. It was a smooth interaction. Fun and funny, again, that is a very heavily idiomatic English phrase, right? That's funny. You've said that before. How many contexts have you said that? Have you said that when you're sarcastic, when you're serious, when you're annoyed, when you're trying to shut down a conversation? Someone will stop talking, oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, I'm annoyed, oh yeah, that's so funny. Oh, the good joke, that's actually funny. Even without like the person, like seeing my talking, you'd say that's funny in a lot of different contexts. Just like if you were on text messages and not seeing my body language. So again, just more idiomatic differentiation in the English language. And cortés definitely strikes me as courteous and polite first, whereas in courteous and polite have distinct English definitions. Last one, honrado versus honest, or honesto versus honest. Just again, I have honesto, it has decent and honorable, and honest, it has honrado recto. So just kind of out of order, but I have honrado goes to honest, recto. First definition is no curvo, no curvo, no curves, straight. Rectify. Erect. Not like erection, erect. Like edificio es erect. Honrado. Upright, righteous. So recto, for their translation, to me that's much more of like adjectives for like non-emotional things at all. Honesto has chaste and modest. Honrado, in the context of honrado, semicolon, then honrado, has honest and straightforward. So honesto to chaste and modest, right? Chastity was definitely a big like concept in like history of not being like a hoe or something. But just clear talk. Honest is just more an assessment of a conversation. Or honrado, again, I would still, honest English to Spanish goes to honrado, honesto. So again, you have, the thing to say is not a cognate 1-to-1 in the dictionary, or 2-to-1, or again, the same context. Decent, they have decente. And where did they have that on here? Did they have that on here? No, I don't know. Why did I look up decente, or decent? I don't know, I don't know if I mixed up one here, or if it probably was just in the dictionary, I just didn't have it, it's just not on the sheet. And then, but decent is, it's clearly a sound and letter cognate to decente, and honorable, honorable. And then in the dictionary for honest, English to Spanish, they had the phrase, voy a ser franco contigo para, I'll be honest with you. Voy, I go, a, to, ser, being, I to being frank with you, is what that translates to. I'll be honest with you. I'll, será, whatever, I will, será, be, ser, honesto, with you. Well, like when do you say that in English? I'll be honest with you. That's way more contextual. Like I'm about to tell you to shut the fuck up. I'm about to tell you you're wrong. I'm about to tell you you're an idiot. So that's a very limiting context for me. That phrase again, just like that's funny. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't sound like a good connotation is about to come next. And then the lastest note I have, the pronunciation of honor still doesn't pronounce the H. Just like in Spanish, you don't pronounce the H at all, but if you say honor, you're not actually saying honor. So just, again, more English. This is learning language. We learned Spanish, English, and a lot more. But, once again, just working through some Cognados Falsos. Trabajador. Working. Did I say to work? No, I said working. Trabajador. Working. Through, say, dice, digo, sobre, trabajador, sobre, cognados, falsos cognados, cuatro. False cognates 4. I am working on false cognates 4. Hope you learned something. Check back for more.